Hey, what's going on, guys? It's got Professor O coming through with a dose of that good yo. Come everywhere like broken glass and around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Today, I want to talk about the fear of failure. Now, listen here, listen clear. First and foremost, it always comes with program. It comes with the process. It comes with the path. You have to be able to fail to excel, literally. Now, what I mean by that is, actually literally what it means, right? Like, you got to fail to excel, really. You just got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep getting back up. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing it. Now, the reason why I really want to expel on this is because I realize that a lot of individuals out there, they get stuck on their failure. Because let me tell you something. First and foremost, I will never sit here and advocate that failure isn't detrimental to your confidence or isn't something easy to overcome. Because, you know, sometimes a lot of things are lost, sometimes things aren't lost. It's just the whole fact of you failing, and it does something to your mental, and then when you're continuously failing, it can really do something to your confidence, right? I've been there, but something I've always had, and I guess I've always been a little steadfast towards the situation, is that I always wanted to keep going, keep trying again, keep doing something different, but to achieve that desired destination that I seen. And I started to realize that, all right, I wasn't actually failing. I was just finding out ways that didn't work. And once I understood that, and I understood at a young age, because you got to realize what comes with failure comes with the mockery, the clowning, the jokes, all of this for people who are actually looking at your progress and seeing that you fell short or actually hoping for your downfall. So what happens when you do fail at your situation, because it all happens, you are going to get ridiculed, you're going to get joked about, you're going to be mocked, etc. so forth, because that's what clowns and narcissists and evil dickheads do. What I'm here to say is that there is a beauty in failure. And when you find that beauty in it, then not only will you be not afraid of failing, you'll start to take it for what it is and come back even stronger, because now you learned a way that didn't work and you learned a way that would work towards a different situation. But we'll get to that later. You know I'm very long-winded. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. You know I got the handy dandy Nokuba in the spot. Do not make it hot. Who writes in script? Clearly your boy still does. Don't hate me because you ain't me. Maybe you need to levitate and meditate. Never deviate or devastate. Appreciate, but never hate. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. A lot of times we avoid taking chances due to fear of failure, when failure is nothing more but a way that didn't work. I just said that, but I'll say it again. It didn't work. It never will work. And you got to realize this, especially when you're so steadfast on your goal and on your path. You got to realize, like, once you're going steadfast, you may think in a geometric nature, which is a very good thing. But when you're steadfast towards your goal and your tunnel vision, now you're taking your geometry perspective and you're making it you're putting it in a linear fashion, which isn't easy to do. Because again, I always say this, why is this simple so difficult? Because you got to realize naturally you think on a complex level. No matter, you don't got to be an Einstein, you don't got to be a brainiac or Tesla, whatever the case may be, to be able to think complex, because it can go positive and negative, etc. so forth. But naturally, as higher life forms on this planet, we think in a complex level. So when you're dimming it down to something so simple, you're trying to overanalyze something so simple when sometimes it is what it is. And that comes with accepting, and that comes with applying and making the simple more applicable on a complex level. And you start to realize the simple is so difficult because we, as being complex life forms, are doing something in a simple nature. It's very hard to comprehend. But once you can master the simplicity, then you can master the complexity. Because being complex doesn't necessarily mean you have mastery. It just means you can think on a complex level. But when you're adding the simplicity into complexity, then you're hitting mastery, because then you're able to explain the complex in a simple manner or form, and everybody would be able to understand. And not just other intellectuals that's be able to explain it in simple terms. And that's when you have full, if not full, you have a very deep developed understanding of what you're talking about. When you're able to explain something complex to something simple, to all ages of life forms, all walks of life, or ages of walks of life, whatever term best suits the conversation. If you dig what I'm saying, I think you can. Let's continue with this round now. The more you fail, the more you rate of success will succeed. Excuse me. I say that one. Oh. All right, I'm back. The more you fail, the more your rate of success will succeed. Really, because you keep finding ways that didn't work. And then you're gonna stumble upon a way that does work. Oh, you did this way, that didn't work. All right, great. You did this way, that didn't work. All right, great. You did this way, that didn't work. All right, great. You did this way, all right, good. And you finally find a way that works very good. And now you're making it happen. And now you're gonna start working for points of success from that point because you found a way that didn't work. And then you'll be surprised that the ways that didn't work, you'll be able to make applicable to the ways that did work, because now you found different ways to complement what actually was successful. So never look at your failures as failures of a stumbling block, or more so look at it as a building block that you could just discard later. That you can apply later. Just put it to the wayside. All right, you found a building block that's not, all right, this ain't the piece I need here, but I may need it in the future. And due to the fact that you have that experience, it's already been stored in the memory bank, and then you'll make it more applicable to that path of success. Let's continue on. It can be very stressful and you can keep on meeting failures. You must realize that those failures will come in handy in due time. I was just speaking about that, literally, because it can really, really be stressful when you continuously meet a failure. And trust me, I know what it feels like. I will never sit here and say I don't know what it feels like. But what I do know is that when you continuously stay optimistic through the failures, then that's when your success will be able to be expedient. Because you're not accepting something that's fictitious, and you're alchemizing your situation and your current reality to your liking. Because you gotta realize, once you start to perceive things are not happening to you, they're happening for you, then you're looking at a point where now you're just serving so it can serve you. Simple as that. Remember, whatever you give, you get back 10 plus fold. It's just what it is. God didn't make life equal, and that's the beautiful thing. God made life abundantly, but that also happens is whatever you sow. You reap what you sow. So if you pour in positivity, you're going to get back abundance of positivity. If you pour in negativity, you're going to get back an abundance of negativity. It's just what it is. When you're dealing with life forms, you're dealing with other walks of life, etc., so forth, that may try to deter your positivity or deter your optimism to bring you down to a lower level of vibration and perspective, that's only because they want you to be there so you can reap what you sow if you ever participate in that low form thinking. But if you stay high-minded and you're able to always pour in and sow and reap good things, because you're sowing good things, even to those that hold on for a second, then you'll be able to receive the benefits thus far. Because it's just like the Bible says, anybody can do favors and good things to people that they like. Well, the gift is already there. But doing favors and good things to people that may annoy you, that may rub you the wrong way, etc., so forth, not showing partiality, that's when you start to reap the true benefits of the reaping and the sowing in this reality, etc., so forth. You're gonna have to. But when you start to really get those nutrients out of that, then it'll start to work for you. It has no choice, because now you're a representation of God. At that point, God doesn't show partiality. The sun shines and the moon sets on all life forms that walk on this planet. It's just, how are you perceiving your reality and how are you reaping what you're sowing? That's it. That's all it really is to it. Don't let anything and anyone tell you differently. Remember, the rules that some other individuals live by may not be the rules that apply to you. Because at the same time, you're operating in 2, 3, 4 different types of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So many different forms of perspective that exist out there, but you're not operating on the same wavelength. So being that you're not operating on the same wavelength, they may be talking from a low-minded perspective. They may not be able to comprehend or perceive where you're coming from, because they're operating in a low perspective. They're operating in the flesh. And if they're operating in the flesh, then yeah, they're not going to understand spiritual concepts or spiritual mechanics that will be able to truly reap the benefits of it. So you really can't speak spiritually to people that are fleshly, because they won't be able to comprehend. You'll be talking to a brick wall that happens to have an opinion. And trust me, the opinion always going to be hard-headed, because look what you're talking to. But I digress. Let's continue on. You know I'm long-winded now. All right. The jewel is the journey. Point blank period. It really is. The jewel is the journey. Once you reach your destination, you'll never be the same from when you started, because you figured out many ways and you continue to go on, even though you face a plethora of failures. The success is because you went past the failures. You didn't let the failures stop you. You let it mend you. You let it mold you. Because again, remember, failure, going towards your goal, are nothing more but building blocks, not stumbling blocks. And once you start to perceive that you're not failing to stop, you failed because you found a way that didn't work for your certain path. Then when you finally find a correct path or the correct part to your success that can get you to your destination, then you'll realize all those failures you experienced in the past were just building blocks for certain situations that you may have been. Remember, you may have failed, you may have did a way that was so future-minded that you didn't even perceive it yet. It just wasn't, you may have failed in a way that you were so ahead of your time that it couldn't work this way yet. So don't ever look at failure as a bad thing. That's what I'm saying. The more failure, the more your perspective is being widened. I already said that. That's point blank period. Don't need to spell on that. When you finally win, it's all worth it. Oh yes, it most definitely is. Because you come back wiser. You come back more knowledgeable. These are the things that's going to be very necessary. Give me one moment. Once you achieve your goal, refine. Because you realize just because you achieved your goal, you achieved your success. That's a good thing. That's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh my God, you did it. You finally achieved your success. You win, right? But now it's all about refining that W, refining that win, because now you don't want to take the same path to get back to the same W, right? Look at all those stops you had to make. Look at all those tests and trials and errors. You want to refine the path. Now you got to go back to the beginning. But you're not really truly going from the beginning. You're going to the beginning of when you're winning, because now you already got the success. So it's pretty much like you traveled a long journey. You went over many obstacles and you found the treasure chest. And your treasure chest is filled with all of everything that you need. All of the gold, the blooms, whatever the case may be. And then you go back to the beginning, but you're not going to an old beginning, you're going to a new beginning, to where now you're starting off from abundance. That would be the term. You're starting abundantly. And if you're starting abundantly, and then you're refining the path that you took there to get, it's just rinse, wash, and repeat, baby. Rinse, wash, and repeat. That's it right there. Oh yeah, again, yeah, and that's, wait, is that? Yeah, again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the expert, the proficient, efficient, the sufficient. The one that's always new in there and never losing it, that's growing, that's going at all times. Keep it up, keep it out, keep it out. We're looking 10 to 3. And remember, speak good, do good, see good, because when it is good, it's all good. Can you dig it? And for the haters out there that love looking at your boy, make sure you look at my good side, because you know that I'm sexy. Do you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Peace, love, and light. I'll see you guys in the next video.